What's up, party people? It's Brennan again, sorry. I'm here today to talk about Aruba's digital atmosphere event, how I felt about it, the biggest takeaways that I got from the entire event, which were many, but I'm focusing on 3. You may have noticed I'm something of an Aruba fan. Some people have accused me of drinking the Kool-Aid, as it were. Airheads community hat. Airheads North Face jacket. And here's the thing. Normally, our big event is atmosphere. You gotta understand something about us nerds. This is like Super Bowl for us. We get around, we have parties, we just talk about technology. It's how we roll. The biggest face-off chance that we have to watch is like the latest Gartner report or something like that. Also got the old network engineer shirt from our in-person atmosphere from a couple years ago. It makes me look smart while I'm out and about, and also has atmosphere. My back's not as big as Arnold's, so it's like doing dumbbell lifts with my old 515 here. That's enough of that. So even though the event was totally virtual this year, I still think Aruba did a fantastic job presenting some really, really cool technology that I am absolutely intrigued by and very excited about. And let's go ahead and get started. It's my own personal snack mix for Aruba at home events. Orange Reese's Pieces only. The orange ones taste better. Mixed in with the old Cheetos. Sound disgusting? Kind of is. Delicious. So the first thing I'm very excited about is the Aruba Edge Services Platform. This is sort of an all-encompassing thing, right? A lot of the things I'm excited about all sort of fall under this canopy of the Aruba Edge Services Platform. So if I were to go back in time to last year's atmosphere, and even going all the way back to 17 and 18. When OS 8 came out, we've got live upgrades and the ability to cluster these controllers together. Then we have the UXI sensors, the former CAPE sensors that are seeing things from a user perspective, which I thought was just super, super cool. Then we've got like Net Insight to get really deep AI kind of insights and peer review within a network infrastructure. So now we've got UXI at the customer facing side, we've got Net Insight and the infrastructure side, and peer review allowing us to make some automated changes. And that AI machine learning idea was definitely there for AOS 8 as well, with things like AirMatch, which was like an AI version of the ARM automated RF management system that Aruba already had in play. Then we were getting into things like ClearPass Device Insight, where we're going deeper into profiling. And then of course the SD-WAN offer, where now controllers can sort of multifunction in a given mode. The one thing that kind of would drive me crazy about it was I loved all of these advances, and it was fun to build these products and to learn each of them. However, it felt like we had several different products sort of all doing something where they could have been unified, and that's exactly what they've done. A lot of these upgrades are sort of infrastructure upgrades, but as data has moved further outside of that and further to the edge, especially with the coronavirus, especially with people working from home, this became a critical year to make sure that the edge was where we had the innovation. A lot of big competitors out there, there's so much going on in their world, so many products that they have, that it becomes difficult for them to do any one thing in particular and to make good, focused, innovative steps without sacrificing something along the way. There's some like young up and coming scrappy companies that get a lot right, but they simply don't have the experience or depth of knowledge to make any of these solutions really, really take off. So that's where Aruba is just a perfect blend. You've got the experience and the history there and the competitive edge in the infrastructure and the enterprise space, but you've also got humble beginnings, and you've got a focus on SMB with Instant. Bringing together Central, which is a great cloud platform, with all of these other awesome services sort of seemed like a no-brainer. And that's exactly what Aruba's done this year with the Edge Services Platform. Basically what's coming along with AOS 10, we're jumping from AOS 8 all the way up to AOS 10, like we jumped from AOS 6 to AOS 8. We're gonna move all these things together. UXI, Meridian, which we haven't even really talked about on here, controllers and gateways and SD-WAN and Instant. We're moving it all under the cloud platform, which was, the artist formerly known as Central is now gonna be not a symbol, but it's going to be, this Edge Services Platform. So now Central is much more than just Central. It's so much more than just a Meraki competitor or whatever else. Now it's literally a full service cloud controller kind of an idea. Cloud services, cloud applications. Really, there's just a ton going on. It's almost impossible to explore all of it. I just suggest you go sign up register for the event even though it's already passed. Go watch the keynotes. Watch the primary keynote from Kirti, then go watch the tech keynote with Partha and a bunch of other product managers. Probably my favorite sort of airhead session that I would suggest you go watch is the one by Amish Shah, where he goes over AOS 10 and the new Edge Services Platform Central, whatever it's going to be. He really goes over the different architectures that exist today. So instant and controllers and then SD-WAN. And he brings it all together and says, hey, here's what the existing architecture looked like, here's what it's gonna look like now, and here's what features that enable. The first thing that I really, really liked, it's already kind of in Central, is AI Ops. Now, I've been a big fan of AI Ops since they were kind of starting to tease it with things like Clarity, right? Where Clarity used to exist as a service that would basically give you a little bit deeper insight into issues that were going on in the network. Siloed it down into 5 major categories: DNS, DHCP, client authentication, client association, and captive portal. And these are things that have classically been a pain in the derriere for IT people trying to support a network, because it will almost always boil down to one of those 5 things when it becomes a problem. The Clarity allowed you to do was hop in real quick, see the health in any given one of those silos, and then drill down into the one that was problematic. This allowed you to bypass that OSA layer troubleshooting where it's, did you turn it off and turn it back on again? You skip a few steps and you say, okay, it's the DHCP server, and that's that, and we're done. Out of here. AI Ops is really taking that a step further by bringing in the same capabilities that NetInsight had, which was machine learning, AI-based learning bases that are peer reviewing with similar architectures, similar setups, and saying, hey, this is what worked for them based on this set of issues, based on your size campus and your size deployment. It's kind of like having a sort of a built-in design and attack engineer all in one. It will give you suggested remediation steps. So you're avoiding a call and attack. It does have this cool thing built in apparently where it will notify TAC of like critical issues. I'm curious how that works. I want to hear a little bit more about that. And this is where the benefit of AI comes in. It really allows you to free up your own time to do things that you want to do. You're watching this video, subscribing and liking all the videos, and suggesting it to your friends on LinkedIn, and posting it all over your social media. I'm excited about the Edge Services platform in general, but AI Ops within that is sort of a big thing. And then number 3 would just be AOS 10. But in that talk I was telling you about where they explore the new architecture, they do a really good job of saying, well look, each AP now in AOS 10 is kind of its own individual standalone. And so this whole idea of instant, right, where we could deploy 128 access points. That limit is gone, and every access point boots up as its own sort of master, and it's going on up to the cloud controller to get all kinds of services available to it that were formerly only available to things like controller, like AirMatch, like live upgrades from AOS 8, things like that we couldn't do in instant. Now we can. And this is sort of my bonus side note, the thing that I'm excited about, which is the fact that AOS 10, they're going ahead and making it backwards compatible with 300 series APs. And the controllers are moving away from being controller mode. They can still do certain things like terminate tunnels, but they're rebranding them as gateways. But everything, all of it, is compatible with Central. So 300 series campus APs, 300 series instant APs before we had the unified AP platform, all your 500 series APs, all your controllers, everything, your existing infrastructure can go ahead and move up to this new Edge Services platform. And this to me is probably where Aruba is always the strongest player. They simply can't be matched in that they always put the customer first, even when it means we're dramatically shifting the architecture. Aruba's tagline has always been customer first, customer last. And to me, they consistently live up to it. This is why I am such a fanboy. Look at this cute little thing. Aruba flash drive. And my favorite thing ever, what's this? It's a mini AP. Just kidding. It's a flash drive. Oh, I am a fanboy, aren't I? And that's okay. I don't mind being a fanboy. Technology is really cool, and if you have hundreds of thousands of products that can cover the gamut, awesome. But if the customer isn't front of mind for you, none of that matters. Here's a toast to Aruba, to their awesome virtual experience, to my snack mix and my awesome Aruba flash drives. And here's to hoping that next year, whatever cool new thing with Aruba comes out, wherever we're at in the Edge Services platform, wherever you're at in your networking needs, we can all come together again at Aruba Atmosphere 2021. I wouldn't mind if it was in like, West Palm Beach or something. I'm just throwing it out there. I will go ahead and put the link for the Aruba Virtual Atmosphere event so you can just register for it and watch these keynotes. They're so cool. There's so I haven't even finished watching all of them, But I mentioned the ones that I think you should really start with, and then you can go from there, and it's really, really something else. So go check it out. See you next time. Bye.